All right, here's the sweet stuff for your small business. What's up? I'm Michael Sweet. I want to tell you a little bit about the journal entries that I'm doing here. So this is in particular for what is important to your small business. Now that could be things like, do I invest in this? Do I invest in that? It could be things where you're interested in, should I be hiring somebody right now? Or should I possibly move my business? Do I need to change my business? Although all those things are important, the most important thing first is just get started. So this first journal entry, number 1, we're going to be talking about something super important regarding your business, and that is understand the business before sourcing your replacements. Now, why is that really important? Now, when I started in the bakery business with my wife Priscilla, one of the things that we knew for sure is that we had a great idea to start baking, but a terrible idea as far as who our customer was, how we were going to market to those customers, what the administration of it is. I mean, are we going to use an online tool to manage our budget? What is our budget? What is a budget? And I know who are our customers, how much time are we going to have to put into this thing? And so we knew nothing of those sorts. And so to jump in and start working on a business meant we had to actually do the work, understand the business, understand who our customers were before we can even start considering other options like, can we start subscribing to an online tool like QuickBooks? Could we hire on some staff to take over some other of the projects that we could do ourselves, but it'd be better if someone else is doing it so we can grow the business through networking and all those things. And so, well, who are our customers? What are the terms of our services? And what is the terminology of the bakery industry? Those things we had no idea of, and so before we can even consider the idea of hiring on staff to do the baking work or to get systems that we can put in to replace some of the effort that we do, we needed to first understand the business, know our customers. And I'm going to give you something that was told to me by my grandfather. He ran a huge carpet company here in Arizona. And he said, when you get into business, because I know you're going to get into business, you need to know how to do the work. You need to be the one that makes the product, that sells the product, that manages the business, and understands the overall operation of how the entire process works. From start to finish of the product, from meeting the customer, start to finish, closing the sale, from hiring to firing. Hopefully don't have to fire, but you know that happens. And every aspect has to be understood by you. And if you don't know those things, you're going to learn really fast that you do need to know it. So let's consider my bakery. One of the first things that we learned when we first got into the baking industry, and that was, we started the baking industry and we did it almost cold turkey, from being in a corporate environment, getting a paycheck, to no paycheck. And that is actually a really big jump, something that a lot of people are not comfortable with doing. You might be comfortable with it, others may not. And so when we first started, we knew we had some basic recipes that seemed to be really tasty. At least to our family, those were really tasty, but to others, maybe not. We don't know. And plus, did we even want to bake those recipes for people? Matter of fact, who? So we tried all sorts of stuff. We tried selling cupcakes and cookies in farmers markets. We tried doing corporate gifts and stuff like that. We tried all sorts of new type of creative desserts like cookie towers and macaron towers, and try getting into the wedding industry, and then try getting into focusing on birthday cakes, specifically certain types of themed ones. And as we progressed, we started to realize that we had a particular customer that we liked, but we were still trying to grab at every little thing just to bring in a few dollars. So I remember the night that we ended a farmer's market. We brought in, I actually remember, we brought in $2 from the market, and that was basically a sympathy $2. And I gave a few cookies to a dude as we were packing up, and he's like, "Here, dude, I just got a couple bucks, just take them, I appreciate it." And so we made $2 on probably the gas cost us about $6 in gas to get there. So I turned to Priscilla and I asked her, "Hey, what do you really want to do? Of all the things we tried, what do you really want to do?" And she looked me dead in the eye as we're driving. I could feel her eyes on me. "I want to do weddings." And from that point on, we took more time focusing on weddings and become experts on wedding cakes and desserts that paired really well with weddings. And what we discovered was that we loved weddings. We love weddings. We love baking the cakes. We love setting up the wedding cakes, putting all the decorations on there, making the table look clean and awesome, and then also trying new desserts that perhaps couples never thought they could have at weddings. And so when we started with the weddings, we didn't get them right away. It took time to discover what we had to do to grow the wedding focus. We had to meet venues, meet other industry professionals, heck, even meet other bakers, see what their thoughts are on the industry, and then start getting in touch with customers. And after that, we started to grow the business, and it got to a point that things like QuickBooks had to come into play. We could no longer just have a bunch of receipts. That was too difficult. It's easier to have something replace that, like QuickBooks, and to eventually where we had a team of CPAs who are actually our bookkeepers. Their efforts are to take care of QuickBooks for us. So we replaced part of our administrative work through hiring on professionals that enjoy doing something that we particularly didn't enjoy and didn't have the time to do. And now we're like 5 years later after all that stuff, and we're looking at our first full commercial kitchen. And that means hiring on staff. We already have some staff that are working on board on commission, but now it means finding replacements for us, at least as far as having to do all the effort. And now we know what they need to do. We know that certain ones need to be bakers. We know that other ones need to focus on little prep work projects. Others will need to focus on helping Priscilla in the decorating area. But we wouldn't have known that before if we would just started hiring people off the bat and having, "Hey, I got a wedding cake, I need you to make it. What flavor is it? Dang, I totally forgot to even ask the person what flavor they want. Just come up with something and I'm sure they'll like it." That's not owning a business. That's not understanding the business before you even source your replacement. So you have to do the work. You have to start from the beginning of production of the business to understanding how it's going to be packaged, how it's going to be delivered, how it's going to be serviced. And then understand the customer that's involved with that desires that, and how to market to that customer. And then those administrative things like keeping the place clean, having your books taken care of, having someone answer the phone for you because perhaps you just can't get to the phone. You can't get to the Facebook messages. You can't get to the Google messages or the email or all those things that are coming up because you're being bombarded, and because you know your customer segment so well, you don't have time for that. So you first need to be the one that takes on all of those aspects, understands the workflow that's involved to be successful with that, and to be not particularly so overwhelmed, but to get to a point that you know with certainty that if you just gave it to someone else with a very specific focus, they can do the job just as well as you, and your business will grow, it will improve from that. So that is number one. Understand your business before you find your replacements. I hope that was your best sweet stuff for your small business. If you have tried any of those things or experienced those situations where you had to realize you had a back step and do the actual effort or do something to grow the business before you found a replacement, I want to know about that in the comments. So I really want to learn about what you guys did and be able to have a conversation there too. So if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, like this video. Looking forward to the next journal entry. This is Michael Sweet from the Michael Sweet Journal.